live as yesterday? Watching them play, I was watching them ball game. It's quite tough.
And it's day 2 of the 2019 Jackson Purchase Jam, live from the Eagles Nest. That's Graves County High School, Mayfield, Kentucky. We had 7 fantastic games yesterday, and we've got 5 more today on Super Bowl Sunday. But you're going to have to make some choices, folks. You're going to have to miss some of the pregame show if you want to catch all the great action here at the Jackson Purchase Jam. First game will tip off in just a few. We had a post-grad game between Spire and Huntington Prep post-grad, so we're running a few minutes late. But next up will be Minnesota Prep versus Aspire Academy. At noon, it'll be Tennessee Prep versus St. Louis Christian. 1:30, Oldsmar Christian versus Spire Academy. 3 p.m., Bella Vista versus Downey Christian. And 4:30, Athens Prep versus Balboa School. I'm Leroy Watson on play-by-play, and I am joined today by Cullen Kreider. And Cullen, this is a great game to get the morning started off with. We got a couple real scrappy teams who really get after it on the glass. Aspire may be the best offensive rebounding team in the grind session.
Well, you called it. You said scrappy. They're both two blue-collar teams that are both going to get after it. They both play fundamental basketball. They're going to get after you man-to-man, and they're going to tip us off here early this morning on a beautiful day here in Kentucky.
So we will turn you over to public announce for the national anthem and then starting assignments. All right, so both teams have the same starters from yesterday. Minnesota Prep is the home team on the scoreboard, and they are in white, trimmed in sky blue, black, and silver. Aspire Academy, the visitor on the scoreboard, they are outfitted in black, trimmed in white and red. And the one thing that we know for sure, if we don't know anything else about this game, is these two teams are going to play you hard. Nothing comes easy against either one of them. They may not be the biggest, they may not be the most talented, but you're going to know you've been in a contest once it's over. Lukai Patterson drives, kicks to Amon Decker. No good. Offensive rebound. Aaron Moore. And Sekou Seda-Kale pulls down the rebound for Aspire. Long outlet pass. Too tall. Amon Decker tried to save it inbounds for Minnesota Prep, but was unable. Aspire Academy with the ball. Stolen by Decker. To Lukai Patterson, to Adrian Sprinkles, off to the races.
Sprinkles had a great game yesterday. Let's see if he can continue that great play today.
Shot blocked by Seda-Kale. Seda-Kale got a couple of blocks there. Ahmad Harvey with the athletic finish in traffic on the other end.
And speaking of great games yesterday, Ahmad Harvey was great yesterday as well with 9 points and 10, I think it was 10 rebounds. He had a very, very close to a double-double.
Skies there for a rebound. And I'm not sure who Jaden Oughton was trying to hit with that pass. I think it was Harvey. Okay, yeah.
Harvey just kind of misread. He thought he thought the pass had a little too much air under it to be to him.
And so did I, but then it was like, well, the only other thing was the sideline, so it must have been Harvey.
Dan Hudson was open over there in the front row.
Amon Decker, offensive rebound and stick back. So both these teams are true to what they normally do. We've got 3 offensive rebounds already from Minnesota Prep, and Aspire, I'm sure, once they get some misses, they'll get some offensive rebounds too.
And Coach Kipnis goes to his bench very quickly. Titan.
Figgy.
Newton comes into the game early on here in the first minute and a half. And again, you know, remind people it's a 10:30 tip-off here. It's a very early game. Not to make excuses for anybody, but I mean it's sometimes difficult to get yourself up to play this early.
Newton replaces TJ Toney. And there we go, Seda-Kale with an offensive rebound to Ahmad Harvey. Jaden Oughton for 3, no good. Adrian Sprinkles with the long rebound. 14 minutes still to go in the first half. 2-2. This is the Grind Session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. And Grind Session rules apply. 2 16-minute halves, 6 fouls for disqualification, and perhaps most importantly, a 30-second shot clock. Speaking of which, there are 11 seconds on the shot clock for Minnesota Prep. Ball out of bounds, last touched by, I believe, Ramon Woods of Aspire. And that's the horn for the shot clock. We had this problem at one point yesterday, too.
Okay, there they had it fixed at 11. I almost think that one shot clock does one thing and the other does another.
Lukai Patterson for 3. He was trying to draw a foul, didn't get it, but he put that 3-pointer down.
And let's give Lukai credit yesterday as well. Something that I don't know when we're sitting here commentating a game, a lot of times great games can go unnoticed, not necessarily unnoticed, but kind of under the radar. Lukai Patterson yesterday, 17, 8 and 8, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. So very near triple-double for him in yesterday's performance.
And Lukai, he's not one of those high-flying, super fast kind of guys, so it is easy to forget him.
They like to put him in the post. And,
yes.
You know, he's a different type of point guard.
Amon Decker drives right down Broadway for the finger roll. He's got 4.
And that's why Lukai Patterson gets an assist there. He knows where to find guys and when to hit them with the pass.
TJ Toney back in the contest already. He only sat out for about a minute. He misses that 3. Aaron Moore comes the other way from Minnesota Prep. Moore goes baseline, and it is blocked by Sekou Seda-Kale, but he gets stripped. Lukai Patterson, no good. Richard Edwards with 2 tips, and Seda-Kale comes down with another tough rebound. Ramon Woods, he gets it to Ahmad Harvey baseline. He kicks it out to TJ Toney for 3.
Good ball movement by Aspire. They made the extra pass to get the wide open look.
7-5, Minnesota Prep on top. So just like that, Cullen, it looks like both these teams are locked in and engaged.
Yeah, and you know, I should rephrase what I said earlier. It takes a while to get loose this early in the morning. Not necessarily get yourself up for it, but you know, get your body loose, get your muscles ready and warm. Oh,
ball out of bounds, slapped away there by Lukai Patterson.
I think Harvey had the length there to get to the rim. He just didn't notice it at first, but I'd have liked to see him try to get to the rim. I think you at least draw a foul there.
Prosper Obi-Dabubi in, replacing Jaden Alton. Sekou Seydou-Calais backs in, baby hook, partially blocked by Aaron Moore. Rebound, Rudy Tahir into the contest now for Minnesota Prep. Tahir guarded up top by Ahmad Harvey. And Harvey so far doing a good job staying in front of Tahir. Now Tahir gets by him. Richard Edwards, layup in the lane.
Very nice penetration and drop-off pass there from Tahir.
Ramon Woods. Three ball on the way, TJ Toney. He can't find his range. Prosper Obi-Dabubi with the offensive rebound and stick back. 9-7, Minnesota Prep. Amon Decker with a nice strong drive. Shot no good. And here comes Ramon Woods the other way. TJ Toney, no look pass to Prosper Obi-Dabubi. Three-pointer is good.
And Prosper Obi's got a great shot, man. He really impressed me the past couple days with his stroke, he's got great form, great rotation on the ball when he shoots it. Just an excellent shooter.
His thing that gets him in the doghouse with Jeremy Kipnis is when his motor is low. Amon Decker, offensive rebound. Rudy Tahir with an offensive rebound.
Hey, we got to finish that.
So Minnesota Prep right now is sitting on 8 offensive rebounds already, Cullen.
Wow. And just as we speak that, here comes, we've nicknamed him the microwave yesterday, somewhat nicknamed.
Jawan Grant.
Yeah, Jawan Grant will check into the game. He had a quick 20 points. I should say efficient 20 points in last night's game. He had a really quick 10 to 12 right off the bat as soon as he came into the game. So let's see if he can pick that pace up or pick the scoring up here for Minnesota Prep.
Our score is Aspire Academy 10, Minnesota Prep 9. 10 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the first half. Ramon Woods into the front court. He is picked up there by Adrian Sprinkles. Prosper Obi-Dabubi drives, reverse lay is good. He is kicking on all cylinders
And you
today.
know what? I mean, he's probably, after watching a few games of Aspires, he's probably their best prospect as far as at the next level. And I mean, he really showcases his skills. Oh, nice.
Ahmad Harvey on his skates. Over to James Flippin, no good. Rebound, Sekou Seydou-Calais. Ramon Woods in the lane. Short jumper, no good. Prosper Obi-Dabubi with the offensive rebound. Stolen by James Flippin. Obi-Dabubi was falling out of bounds. Flippin picks the loose ball. Jawan Grant to Richard Edwards.
Beautiful dish from Grant. Very unselfish, smart play.
12-11, Aspire on top. Art Harvey into Sekou Seydou-Calais.
Very nice.
Oh, wow. Seydou-Calais put in some great work getting to the rim.
Just good patience. Yeah, good patience there and went up on the right side. Took his time.
Lukai Patterson to Adrian Sprinkles. Sprinkles in the lane, no good. Ahmad Harvey goes up for the rebound. poked out of his hands. Last touch by Minnesota Prep. And, well, no. Okay. So the ref here at half court overrode the baseline referee and says that ball was last touched by Aspire.
Well, no, on those calls, that is his call. He's got the from behind view, so it's just like an over the back. That would be that referee's call, the trail referee, to call that. And so it was a good call there by, I know TJ. TJ and I work together on weekends every now and then, refereeing as well.
And we've got a foul on that play. Prosper Obidobubi is fouled by number 3. That is James Flippin. His first, team first. That is only the second foul called in this game so far. And Obidobubi makes the first. Sekou Seydou-Kale taking a well-earned break.
Well, an interesting substitution, too. You sub in Newton. Yeah, they're a guard in for a big, so they're going small. They're going small here. Let's see what kind of adjustment that creates.
16-13, Aspire on top. James Flippin to Jawan Grant. Thought about the 3. Richard Edwards drives, and it goes.
Great touch from Edwards there. We
Beautiful
saw the backspin on the ball. And that's what happens for kids that are watching. You put the backspin on it. If it hits the rim like that, it has a great chance of falling through. Same thing with the free throw.
Prosper Obidobubi. Call for his first foul. And so Edwards with the and 1, he's now got 7.
One more here. Yep. Good ball movement by Aspire.
Ahmad Harvey.
Excellent.
Starts on the left side of the block, goes under to the right side, and lays it in. 18-16. Aspire in the lead. And Patterson loses it. Last touch by Obidobubi, and so it will go back to Minnesota Prep. Coach Lucas Patterson sidles up to the referee, says that was rough, that was rough. It was a physical play, but I don't see that there was a foul there to call. You had a lot of hustle, had folks diving for the ball. Adrian sprinkles tray ball from the top of the key. 19-18, Minnesota Prep back into the lead. Ramon Woods. Prosper to Figgy, back to Prosper. Tray ball, no good. Jawan Grant picks up the long rebound. Out front, oh my goodness, he is chased down by Ahmad Harvey.
That was like a LeBron block right
it was.
there. Very nice. And great job by Harvey of not committing a foul as well. He just goes up and gets the ball off the backboard. And got it before it hit the backboard,
yes.
which would be goaltending.
Right.
So very,
that
very
was
good
just
play.
An extremely athletic play by Ahmad Harvey.
Or a little reminiscent of Tayshaun Prince way back in the day against Reggie Miller.
Ah, yeah, you did go back with that one.
It was 2004, I think.
James Flippin off the glass. 21-18, Minnesota Prep on top.
That's too much room.
Lukai Patterson with the rebound of the Prosper Obi miss. Free throw line jumper, no good. Obidobubi with the rebound for Aspire. They've got numbers, but Minnesota Prep does a great job getting back. Figgy tried to get a little bit too cute on that. He probably should have just looked for a passing lane, I think, on that one.
I think Coach Kipnis would rather see a little bit of ball movement.
Yep.
Work the ball around, make the defense work.
All right, so we've got a timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout called by Minnesota Prep. They lead 21-18, 5:36 to go in the first half.
And to me, there's a lot of similarities to piggyback on what we were talking about of moving the basketball, sharing the basketball, ball movement on offense. There's a lot of similarities to like putting pressure on defensively as far as you know, you're not always putting full court pressure on to create turnovers. It's just to wear teams down eventually, and that's how you do it on when you're on offense. You got to wear the defense down by moving the ball, making the defense move, making the defense rotate. If they can just stand and not have to rotate at all, and it's a one-on-one play, the defense is really basically getting rest.
Yep.
And so, not to pick on Newton, I mean, it's early in the game. I'm just saying that I think Coach Kipnis would rather see more ball movement, sharing the basketball, and that way it creates better shots for the offense. It's a good cut there by Sprinkles.
Very good cut, Jawan Grant.
And also credit to Spire with good recovery defense as well.
Yes.
That would have been an easy layup there because you know Patterson was looking for that cut as well. So
basketball goes back to Aspire. They are down 3, 21-18.
And here you see some three-quarter court pressure from Minnesota Prep. It's just basically token pressure. It's not really to create anything. It's just to make the offense work and to run the shot clock down a little bit as well. It takes more time to get into the offense.
So that foul called on Jawan Grant. That is his first team second.
Now the shot clock did not reset on that foul. If you
not.
notice, here it is, 5 seconds.
And I don't think they understand that.
Didn't
Stolen by Jawan Grant to Richard Edwards. His shot is blocked by Sekou Calais. Adrian Sprinkles is fouled on the drive. Sekou Calais. That is his first, team third. And to the line shooting a pair will be Adrian Sprinkles.
Hey, Rick, great D, bro. Way to knock it loose twice. Hey, he's loose with it. He don't want to dribble.
And he makes the first. The lead is now 4, 22-18. Aspire has gone into a little bit of a scoring drought here, Cullen. They haven't scored for about 3 minutes.
And again, you got to credit Minnesota Prep with that. They're switching up defenses, giving them different looks almost every time down the court. As you see here now, full court pressure.
Juwan Grant with the steal. To Lukai Patterson.
Good pass.
Oh, what a pass down the baseline to Richard Edwards. And he is fouled. That's Sekou Calais with his second foul. And the fourth team foul on Aspire so far in the first half. So back to the free throw line will go Minnesota Prep. This time it is Richard Edwards. He's made his only free throw attempt earlier this morning. He's now 2 for 2. (24-18) Minnesota Prep. 25-18. The lead is 7. They are 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
And that's where they want the trap, and they got it. Good job by Harvey to get out of there.
Double dribble, it looked like, but we've got a foul call.
And, you know, here's an adjustment. Right there, you want to see a kick out, you know. And again, I'm not picking on any individual player. It's just it's from a coaching aspect of it. He got doubled immediately. You kick that back out and rotate the ball, and there goes Harvey.
Harvey
for a wide open
into
layup.
Lane.
That's a breakdown defensively for Minnesota Prep on an out of bounds underneath.
Lukai Patterson all the way to the cup and good.
Patterson just has a knack for finishing around the rim. He's great touch, knows how to use his body.
Juwan Grant very nearly gets the steal. 4:02 left in the first half. Minnesota Prep 27, Aspire Academy 20. Ramon Woods, and he's fouled. The foul's on Adrian Sprinkles, his first, team fourth. Well, Cullen, the one thing we can say for sure, the game started late, but this one is moving so crisply, we could get back on time here pretty quick.
Right.
Sekou Seda-Calais with the offensive rebound, blocked by James Flippin.
Yeah, you watch Sprinkles, he'll go to the rim, no doubt.
Yes. Oh, and Prosper Obi-Debooby comes out of nowhere.
And, you know, I feel like the Minnesota Prep looks to Sprinkles for that type of aggression, and he has no problem being that guy. He's a very, very strong player.
Yes.
Loves to go to the rim, and he's played excellent this weekend.
James Flippin, excuse me, no good.
Grab it.
And look who battles and gets the offensive rebound.
Nice
Flippin.
pass.
Yeah, Rick.
Lakai Patterson to Richard Edwards. Edwards with 11. That's a game-high total.
Lakai Patterson, he may not be a five-star prospect, but he's got five-star prospect vision.
Yes. He is a really smart, tough, unselfish point guard. And he certainly doesn't look like a point guard. And I think sometimes that's what hurts his prospect status. He doesn't, quote-unquote, pass the eye test.
Well, and I don't know what he is as a prospect. It's like you said, most of the time, the 4 stars and 5 stars, it's that eye test. Are they 6'4"? Are they 6'10" if they're bigs? You know, so. But he does, like I said, he's got that court vision he's got elite court vision, plain and simple.
You combine that with his strength, his unselfishness, his passing ability, and it makes one heck of a prospect.
Good D.
All that matters is that he knows how to use what he's given, and so that's the best part about it. He knows how to use that
4
body.
seconds on the shot clock. Do they recognize it? They act like they don't recognize it. And no, they never knew. Ahmad Harvey had no clue he had 1 second left on the shot clock when he got that ball.
Well, to give them credit, if it is at the next level, that shot clock's up on top of the backboard. And here, they're just on the baseline, actually in the corner of the baseline, so it is tough to recognize.
And I would imagine the coaches have to assign someone the job of tracking that shot clock, you know, someone on the floor, obviously.
And that's good
Wow.
defense.
Great defense by James Flippin.
All that is taking away an angle. Flippin took away his angle. You always hear coaches tell his players, put a foot on the baseline. They can't. That's another defender, extra defender, and that's exactly what Flippin did. And he walled up like coaches tell him to do as well.
2:32 to go in the first half. Prosper
That's a foul,
Obi-Debooby. And Flippin is
He stuck his hip
dismayed,
out.
but yeah, that's an easy call. That's the third foul on Flippin.
It's very
6th on Minnesota Prep.
It's just an unnecessary move there. You know, if he stays straight up, there is no foul call, and he sticks his hip out, and that's what causes the block call. Yep.
Prosper Obi, he's now got 10 and counting. The two teams combined are 8 for 8 from the free throw line so far this morning. And I guess I jinxed him. Never seems to fail. 29-21, Minnesota Prep. Oh, Ahmad Harvey almost created a steal.
And look at the shot clock right here. 9 seconds, so they were 1 second off of a 10-second call, and he commits a foul pretty much at free throw line extended here. So it would have definitely been a 10-second call. Unfortunate for Aspire.
Very unfortunate. Ahmad Harvey with a brilliant defensive effort.
He's too close, Rick. He's too close.
Richard Edwards all the way, no good, and he gets the tip.
the shooter is always has the best position to get the offensive rebound when it's under the basket like that.
Edwards with a game-high 13. Ahmad Harvey driving. And he is fouled.
Never fails. I get the table put in my lap.
That's his second foul and team 7th. Ahmad Harvey will shoot 1 and 1. And, you know, these wheels don't have locks on them that I can detect. I've looked for locks, but I don't see any. Harvey makes the first.
For anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, since I didn't explain that very well, I get my score. We're at a scorer's table here, and we've gotten the table pushed in our laps at least
a dozen times.
Oh yeah. Somehow
sometimes intentionally, sometimes
It's only us that it happens to. I don't understand, but I guess because we're right at where they check in. But there's Edwards again.
Edwards layup, no good. Oh, who got that tip? Was that Amon Decker?
It was Decker.
Amon Decker.
He put his finger up, so I'm going to give him the credit. It's going to be 3 shots.
And then Decker turns around and he broke the cardinal rule, Cullen. He jumped into a 3-point shooter.
Well, and so many times now it's more of having your feet in their landing spot. You know, guys understand that if that foot's down there where you're landing, then just go ahead and fall, because now when you fall and then the ref looks, he's going to see you fall, and then he's going to see the defender in the landing spot. And so that's a foul. It's an automatic call.
But in this case, Decker just hit that guy body to body. He had too much momentum moving out instead of up.
Right.
And he's too short to block Prosper Obidobubi's shot anyway. So.
And that's why, you know, on the closeout, you want to close out to one side or the other. You don't want to close straight out into the shooter.
Obi tries to save it. And instead, Aaron Moore just plays give me that. And Seydou Calais with the offensive rebound. Ahmad Harvey working hard in the lane.
And you just took the words out of my mouth. Ahmad Harvey is a workhorse, man. He is 100% effort, 100% motor at all times, and that's a coach's dream, trust me.
So that foul is on Aaron Moore. That is Moore's first, team's 9th. And with 1:10 to go in the first half, it is 33-24 Minnesota Prep. Ahmad Harvey trying to trim that deficit. He misses the first. Hey, no, Cullen, I think something that fans perhaps don't pay enough attention to is a guy working as hard as Harvey is to now stop, go to the free throw line, gather yourself, and calmly sink 2 free throws. That's easier said than done. And he missed them both. Aaron Moore pulls down the rebound. 1 minute to go in the first half. Richard Edwards having an excellent first half. Near steal by Ahmad Harvey.
Money ball.
That was Aaron Moore for 3, no good. Amon Decker offensive rebound, up and in.
And Decker just stayed on the block in that play, and nobody ever moved him off his spot. So that's why he's there for the offensive rebound.
Shot no good by TJ Toney. Here comes Minnesota Prep the other way. Lukai Patterson. Nice shot fake. There was contact, but no foul call. Ball out of bounds. Last touched by Aspire Academy. Lucas Patterson is beside himself. He wanted the foul call. He says it's the same foul call that was made down on the other end, but that's what coaches always say.
Especially for a coach's son, right?
Absolutely. Out of bounds. And ref says it's off Adrian Sprinkles.
Well, Sprinkles didn't have any argument there either.
No, he didn't. That's an excellent point. Coach Patterson did, but Sprinkles looks like he pretty much accepted it.
Fake game, get back. Sit down.
Shot clock is off. 10 seconds left to go.
Coach Patterson with the Julian Newman reference.
Yes.
Got an illegal screen.
Offensive foul, illegal screen.
I believe it was Calais.
That was, yes, Seydou Calais. He just picked up his third. Team sixth. And so Ahmed Mahmoud comes into the game to replace Seydou Calais.
Patterson's going to shoot this, no doubt.
Yes. Three-pointer, no good. And that will do it for the first half. And our score at the half is Minnesota Prep 35, Aspire Academy 24. Minnesota Prep kind of quietly walked that lead a little larger. They've got an 11-point bulge at halftime.
Well, they've just been solid, and they're protecting the basketball. Good guard play. Sprinkles and Lukai Patterson both protecting the basketball, taking it to the rim, and they've been efficient again here in this first half.
It's day 2 of the Jackson Purchase Jam. This is our first game of the day, but we've got 4 other excellent matchups to follow this one. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. I'm Leroy Watson for Cullen Kreider, and we will be back in about 4.5 minutes to get you ready for the second half of this contest. In the first half, Richard Edwards led all scorers with 13 for Minnesota Prep. Adrian Sprinkles chipped in 7. Lukai Patterson 5. Amon Decker, with 8. And James Flippin 2 off the bench for the Diplomat Lions. Aspire Academy is led by Prosper Obidibubi with 12 points off the bench. Amard Harvey, 7 points, hard earned. 3 points for TJ Tony, and Sekou Seda Calais, a little quiet. He only scored 2. So at the end of the day, long story short, Aspire Academy has got to find ways to put the ball in the hole. Cullen, you have any suggestions for the Wizards?
Well, I think it's just more just getting back to who you are and trying to there really hasn't been a rhythm in the first half for them. And so you've got to get in some kind of rhythm. And, you know, it's hard to kind of pick that out for whatever, you know, whoever team you're talking about, because you don't necessarily – they don't have that one guy that you can just go to. You know, Prosper Obi is maybe that guy, but at the same time, you know, they don't have – say a LaMelo Ball or someone that you can just go to one-on-one. So I think it's just sharing the basketball, better ball movement, running the offense, executing the offense, and just getting back to what you know.
And the interesting thing about Aspire is, since Caleb Fields has left, they don't have a creator. You know, most teams in the grind session have a creator. You know, you got Lukai Patterson, who's creating for Minnesota Prep, and to a lesser extent, Aaron Moore. And Prosper Obidibubi, great scorer, great talent, but he's not a creator. So Aspire, as Ramon Woods, he's feeling his way. You can see he's getting there, but he's not ready to take that mantle just yet. So Aspire's just got to find a way to scramble and get something done. And
you know what? You know, it may be to ugly it up, like we talk about every now and then.
Yeah.
And, you know, we always talk about, or I always do anyway, and how I met Coach Kipnis is he was a Patino disciple, you know, and so that's what they, you know, that's that style. Let's make it ugly, and that's how some teams win, and maybe that's what they need to do, and because they've got the guys that are scrappy and that are willing to put their nose in there and really make it a tough game.
All right, so they stopped the clock with 6.8 seconds. I guess somebody didn't want to hear the buzzer this morning. Maybe somebody's hungover. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
But that said, no one's on the floor. Okay, now here comes Minnesota Prep out on the floor. There goes the buzzer. But Coach Kipnis is content just to keep his guys over there. They're going to chat. They're not in any real hurry until the referees say, hey, let's break it up and get started.
Well, and I heard one of the referees who I know well, I heard him say he's for the Patriots tonight, so now he's on my he's not on my good list as of now, being a Rams fan. So if he makes some bad calls, I'm going to talk bad about him this second half here.
All right, game time. Aspire with the ball first. Ramon Woods to TJ Tony. Tray ball is good.
Well, and that'll get you started off right. TJ Tony just catches in rhythm, shoots right over the defender. Wasn't a bad closeout at all. Just a nice shot.
Amon Decker working on the low block.
Good work, man.
Count the score. And that foul is on Sekou Seda Calais. That is his 4th.
And that's a tough shot there by Decker. I mean,
it was
right over Seda Calais, who was fully extended and bodied him up and actually got the body contact as well. So nice finish. Nice free throw as well.
Decker completes the three-point play.
I know people may think I'm crazy when I compliment on free throws, but I mean, that's just something that I notice and I'll continue to do because it's a very important part of the game.
James Flippin chases down that loose ball. And, you know, to piggyback on that, Cullen, you can tell how a person shoots their jumper by looking at their free throws. Because sometimes in the heat of the game, you know, you really can't pay all that much attention to their actual form from three-point line or in the mid-range. But as a free throw shooter, now you really get a chance to see who can shoot, who works on their technique, who works on their craft.
Yeah, and to me, I think that's always the biggest indicator of how well it would translate into the next level or to the higher levels is their form.
Right, exactly.
You know, to me, just think about someone who we can mention, Lonzo Ball. It worked in high school. It worked in college somewhat. But now you get to the NBA, and that form it's just not going to work for him. He's clearly shooting 40-something% from the free throw line, you know.
TJ Toney in transition. He's got all 5 of the points for Aspire here in the second half, and they've trimmed their deficit to 9, 38-29.
Good start for Aspire. They're getting looks that they want.
Mon Decker and James Flippin gets into the body of Mard Harvey, and that is his 4th foul.
Something that I always notice on the grind session, Leroy, is that just like right there, even though the over the back was called, almost every rebound is a 50-50 ball. When you've got this type of size and athletic ability on the floor, every rebound is a 50-50 ball. And so that just makes that defensive positioning and boxing out that much more important.
Prosper Obi drives, stolen by Aaron Moore. Jawan Grant in possession of it. Aspire gets back beautifully on defense, and so now Minnesota Prep will set something up. Over the shoulder pass from Jawan Grant to Aaron Moore. He couldn't finish it, but then Aaron gets an offensive rebound, and he is fouled. Prosper Obi Dabubi with his 2nd foul, team 2nd of the second half. And so Aaron Moore will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair. He is scoreless thus far. Now he's got 1. On a team full of great athletes, Aaron Moore may be the most athletic of the Minnesota Prep Diplomat Lions. And so I would imagine after a scoreless first half, Coach Lucas Patterson got into his behind a little bit in the locker room. Let's see if Aaron Moore won't be a little more active.
Nice
Mark
hook.
Harvey, beautiful hook.
Yeah, nice hook from Harvey.
39-31. Aspires chipped it down to 8.
Good move by Moore, and that's a charge.
And that's absolutely
good.
Travel.
He did take 3 steps there, but it was because of the great defensive play there.
That was
that
Sekou?
was Seda Kalei, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. Layup no good. Sekou, Seda Kalei. Aaron Moore picks up the rebound, and he is fouled by Ahmad Harvey. That's Harvey's 2nd.
Give Moore a lot of credit right there. I mean, that's a tough play there. Seda Kalei had the position pretty much a foot away from the rim, and he still comes up with the stop.
Decker is fouled. Oh, wow. That's 5 rather on Sekou Seda Kalei. And the 4th foul against Aspire here in the second half. Who's that? That was Moore, Aaron Moore. Baby hook, no good. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Minnesota Prep. And Eduardo Ramirez into the contest for the first time today for Aspire Academy.
Look for Ramirez to hunt for that 3-pointer in the corner.
A shot he is very proficient in knocking down. Richard Edwards into the lane, kicks it to Aaron Moore, and he took steps.
That's the most commonly called travel right there.
Yep.
It's off the catch. When the player's, he's already, in his mind, he's already on the drive before he puts the ball down, and that's what happens. You shuffle the feet. You take a couple steps before you dribble. Good move.
Ramon Woods goes baseline and scores.
Great hesitation. Great pace by Ramon Woods. Change of speed.
His first basket of the morning. 39-33. Aspire has trimmed their deficit to 6. Slowly and quietly, Aspire has worked themselves back into this contest.
Good defense.
Adrian
no backside
Sprinkles,
rebound.
Amon Decker.
It was good defense, but just no backside rebound there. Once it was Obi came over, and nobody filled in. Ooh.
Ahmad Harvey, no good on the tip. Prosper Obi Badubi cleans it up. He's got 14. Now, you want to hear a crazy stat, Cullen?
Yes, I do.
Minnesota Prep, Jawan Grant from deep downtown. That's his first basket of the morning. Minnesota Prep has 35 total rebounds, 19 on the offensive glass.
Yep.
Get it loose. Get it switching, Rich.
Prosper Obi with the Euro, cannot convert. Jawan Grant to Amon Decker in traffic, no good. Eduardo Ramirez goes up and snatches the glass, and Jawan Grant snatches his outlet pass.
Hey, we're in three, Amon.
So Minnesota Prep with the chance to take a double-digit lead again with 11 minutes to go in the contest.
Nice pass.
Lakai Patterson finds Richard Edwards on the baseline.
And Edwards is great at running that baseline, especially in a zone. That's where he kind of drifts to where he needs to go. He'll go against the grain once Patterson starts to penetrate. And Edwards is always there. He's always in the right place. And that's why he's had such a great start to this game. He's got 15, I believe.
Yes, he does. All right, so we've got timeout on the floor. Full timeout, Aspire Academy. And our score is Minnesota Prep 46, Aspire Academy 35. We hope you are enjoying the start to the second day of the 2019 Jackson Purchase Jam live from Graves County High School in Mayfield, Kentucky. We will be back in just a moment. TJ Tony into the lane. Floater is good. TJ Tony now with 10. Minnesota Prep up 9. Shot in the lane, no good by Adrian Sprinkles. Ahmad Harvey with the rebound.
Cut by Harvey.
And that's an unfortunate break there for Aspire. They're trying to work themselves back into this contest. And Harvey was in prime condition to make something happen.
Yeah,
and he takes
I was going to say, you'd rather just see Harvey just go up with it.
Yep.
That way, you know, he can go up for his offensive rebound if he misses.
Hey, way to go strong, Rick.
Edwards is
Richard
killing
Edwards.
him on the baseline, man.
Yes. Yes. And that is the third foul on Ahmad Harvey. The 5th against Aspire here in the second half. And so back to the free throw line, Richard Edwards.
Keep playing. Let's go.
And he missed the first. Ramon Woods returns to the contest for Aspire, replacing number 22, Jake Morris. Missed the second. T.J. Toney for Aspire. Now Ramon Woods, deep right wing, into the lane. Woods with the hop step. Basket is good.
Yep.
That foul committed by Richard Edwards, his third, team second.
Consistency on the baselines.
Coach, we just had the same play right down here. One-on-one play with a foul.
That was a hard-ass foul.
It's
That
the same
was a
thing,
soft
though.
foul.
No, it's hit on the arm.
Super
It's the
soft.
same thing.
We've been playing through all the soft stuff.
And Ramon Woods makes the free throw. So Coach Patterson saying that the foul his team committed was a soft foul. We've been playing through that, he says. That's an easy call, offensive foul on Jawan Grant. And Cullen, it just never ceases to amaze me the nuance to which coaches will go when they're trying to argue that a foul should or should not have been called against their team or for their team.
Well, yeah, and then a foul goes against them usually after that. So, you know, I mean, it's
good point.
It's a difficult deal because it's a difficult deal for the official because, you know, when a coach is chirping at you a little bit, you don't want him mad at you, and you just kind of want to settle things, and then something goes their way right after, you know, kind of back to back. And so now you, as an official, you're like, well, here we go. I'm going to get even more lip now, but
yeah,
it's just a game, man.
But, you know, it was interesting that Coach Patterson essentially admitted, yeah, that was a foul, but it was a soft foul, and we've been playing through those.
Right.
Which is interesting reasoning if you can get away with it.
Good block, Rick. Get out of there, get out of there. Go, Rich Miller.
8:50 left in the contest, and Richard Edwards shot no good. Prosper Obi-Debubi on the move, and quietly Aspire has trimmed their deficit to 6, 46 to 40.
Well, we've got punches thrown.
Okay,
Somebody will be thrown out for that.
got to be.
It's Tahir and Obi Prosper.
And the expression I hear that I don't like, it's not over. That's not good. So both teams pulled off the floor. The ref obviously heard the same thing I heard. So everybody cooled themselves down a little bit, let the refs confer, and decide who's going to be tossed. Somebody's got to be tossed when a punch is thrown.
Oh, of course. That's just what they're working out right now. And
yeah. You know, we've
if
got to
this,
get
was
some.
if this was college, we would have about a 10 to 15-minute video right here.
Yeah, that's right. They come over, they pull out the monitor, they would slow it down.
When things can be settled in a matter of a minute or two, and, you know, it's something that drives fans crazy, I know. They're both going to be – yeah, I was going to say, they're both going to be gone.
So Rudy Tahir is ejected. And Prosper Obi-Debubi is also ejected. And so, you know, not that this is important, but that's advantage Minnesota Prep. They've just lost a kid who only plays 8 to 10 minutes a game.
Well, I think what Coach Kipnis is saying here is that Prosper did not throw a punch. I'm not sure if he did or not, but
he didn't. But I did see his fist balled up. I did see that.
Yeah, but that.
But and I have heard
if you get hit in the face and you didn't throw one back, then you deserve to stay on the floor. If you ask, that's just my opinion. But
good point.
I mean,
because I know I have a friend who's a ref, and we had that discussion once. It's like, okay, so what's the threshold for ejecting someone? And he says, look, I've ejected a kid who balled up his fist because I felt that if I didn't, then there was going to be some retaliation. And it's like, okay, interesting point. And then, again, keep in mind, I clearly heard it's not over. The refs heard that too. So maybe it was Prosper who said that. I don't know who said it. But no free throws will be shot. That's offsetting technicals. Rudy Tahir and Prosper Obi both teched up and ejected from the contest. 8:39 left in the game. And that's very, very unfortunate for Aspire, who had been quietly chipping into the lead, which was I was about to talk about when all this brouhaha occurred. You know, you're down 11 at the half, and 11 is an awful big deficit, especially psychologically. Now you're down to 6. It's a two-possession game. Anybody's ball game.
Well, yeah, anytime you take away one of your best players, I mean, it's gonna it's gonna affect the outcome, I would think. It's gonna affect how you play.
Ruby had
sure.
14. That's a team high total.
Travel. Yep.
So here's hoping that all bad blood is now gone and we can get back to playing basketball again.
Right.
All right, so now we've got some more jawing going on. So perfect time for a full timeout by Coach Jeremy Kipnis. 8:18 left to go in the game. It's the 2019 Jackson Purchase Jam, Day 2, Game 1. We hope you are enjoying proceedings. This is the Grind Session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. We'll be back in a moment. Foul, Titan Figgy Newton. That is his first, team 6th.
They've got it as team 7th.
Oh, that's right. The tech counts.
Yeah, right.
So that is the 7th team foul on Aspire. And so to the line, shooting 1 and 1, Jawan Grant. And he makes the first. (47-40) Minnesota Prep. 48-40 Minnesota Prep with 8:16 to go in the contest. Still anybody's ball game. 8 minutes plus is an eternity in basketball terms. Oh, bad pass. Ahmad Harvey couldn't catch up to it. Adrian Sprinkles in transition the other way, and just like that, it's now a 10-point game, 50-40.
Sprinkles continues to impress me with his finishing ability. He's very good with his body and body control. And
that was a tough finish in transition. Ahmad Harvey up and under. He's fouled. I believe that's Amon Decker.
Yes.
Yes, Amon Decker, that is his 3rd, team 6th. Ramon Woods drives, blocked by Jawan Grant, but Grant called for the foul.
It's a great take.
And that is his 3rd, team 7th.
Woods there just takes what the defense gives him. They gave him the right side, and he took it all the way from left to right side of the rim, and draws the foul.
Woods with 2 free throws. He makes the first.
Come on, step up in that box.
And Colin, I've got to kind of reflect back to last year for a second. Caleb Fields, when he first joined Aspire, just didn't look like a good basketball player to me. You know, unfortunately, it just, you know, he was brand new. He was thrust into a situation where he had to start right away. And it took him about 3 events. And he got himself together and, you know, he became a Division I signee as a result. So I say that to get to Ramon
Very
Woods.
nice.
Oh, Ahmad Harvey, beautiful basket.
That was a beautiful Euro step there
Yes,
from Harvey.
it was. And Ramon Woods is only in his 3rd event right now for Aspire after leaving St. Louis Christian. So,
well, right on cue, Ramon Woods with a great defensive play there.
Yeah.
Knocks it off the knee of Lukai Patterson.
Figgy into the lane. Almost lost it. TJ Tony. Tray ball is good. And now that's a 7-0 run by Aspire. They are down 3,
And Tony,
50-47.
Tony's been absolutely pure today with his shot. Sprinkles.
Tony with 13. Amon Decker with the offensive rebound. And yes, Figgy, you got it.
Well, it's a huge rebound there. You know,
It is.
We've got a lot of time left, but there for Aspire, you have a chance to go down and possibly tie the game up. Instead, now you give them a chance at the free throw line.
Decker misses the first.
Hasn't hurt him so far, but still a big offensive rebound.
50-47, Minnesota Prep, 6:41 to go. And that looked good. Oh, no, it didn't. Oh, Adrian Sprinkles, offensive rebound, up and in.
So there you go. There's 2 extra possessions, and they get their 2 points out of it. So great hustle by Sprinkles there to he just won that battle right there for that rebound. He wanted it more.
Eduardo Ramirez, baseline jumper, no good. Long rebound.
Smart
TJ
tip
Tony.
there by Newton.
It was.
Good cut by Woods.
And Woods, oh, stolen, Amon Decker. Lakai Patterson in transition, drives, kicks, Jawan Grant, oh no, offensive rebound, Amon Decker. 39 rebounds for Minnesota Prep, 22 on the offensive glass.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And good finish there by Ramirez. Great
Eduardo
body control.
Ramirez. Lakai Patterson, he's doubled, tried to get out of it. Figgy steals that cross-court pass.
Oh, wow. Great take.
He split 2 defenders, which they both got him, and
Yeah.
they're going to give it to 22, Adrian Sprinkles.
I didn't think that he had the angle there to go up, and he still went up with it anyway, and that's how he drew the foul.
But this goes back to something you mentioned earlier. You know, there are times when you just need to go up and put the ball on the rim.
Exactly.
You know, don't try to do too much. Don't try to make a crazy wraparound pass.
Exactly.
Just go, rise up, and take the attempt.
That's exactly right.
So Figgy misses the first. He's got 1 more coming. It's a 3-point game, 52-49, 5 minutes and 39 seconds left in the contest. And Newton makes the second. That's his first point of the morning. It is a 2-point game, 52-50. And Cullen, you just can never leave either of these 2 scrappy teams for dead.
No, you're exactly right. And I love that finish right there by Edwards.
Richard Edwards, yes.
Instead of coming down with it and giving the defense time to recover, he just stays up with it and puts it on the glass.
Excellent pass there from Lakai Patterson. Lakai Patterson sitting on 4 assists and counting. 54-50, Minnesota Prep. They walk it up. They want to try to take a little time off the clock. Richard Edwards goes baseline and finishes over Sekou Seda-Kalei. 56-50.
That puts Edwards with 19 on the day. He's been the best player on the floor
Yes.
today. And again, very efficient with his attempts.
And actually, I've got him down for 21.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what the boss over here says. Statistician Jesse Brewer has him for 19, so we'll go with 19. Offensive rebound and tip, Ahmad Harvey.
it's just a 4-point game. You know, it almost feels like more than that if you're not looking at the score.
Stolen by T.J. Toney, and he then throws the loose ball off Amon Decker. There was a little trash talk there, and the refs quickly come in and say no talking, because that's how little flare-ups get started. Don't know how things between Tahir and Prosper started, but it probably started with some trash talk. T.J. Toney to Ahmad Harvey. He is cut off by Decker. Nice recovery there by Decker. Figgy Newton tries to dish it to Ahmad Harvey. Almost stolen. Newton picks up the loose ball.
4 on the shot clock, 2 and 1. So good shot there.
Sekou Sedekele. No good. Richard Edwards scraps for the rebound. Offensive.
They're going to call it defense, though.
But that ref, the trailing ref, did not have as good a view of it as we did. And then baseline ref couldn't see it either.
And trust me, when you've got this type of size, again, this type of size on the floor, you get blocked a lot of times as an official.
But Richard Edwards got away with a clear forearm shiver. And it should have been an offensive foul call. But that was on Ramon Woods. His first offensive rebound. Another offense. Okay, nope. Sedekele comes out with that one. 23 offensive boards so far today by Minnesota Prep.
Look at
Ahmad Harvey just grinding it out like he does. 56-54.
That dude's motor never stops.
Offensive rebound, Lakai Patterson to James Flippin. Unbelievable. 24 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, if Minnesota Prep holds on to win this game, as we have a timeout here by Coach Kipnis, but if they hold on to win this game, that's clearly the reason why.
Rebounds, yes. 2:49 to go. We'll take our final break here of the first game of day 2 of the Jackson Purchase Jam. Minnesota Prep 58, Aspire Academy 54. A grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports, and we will be back in just a few moments. Aspire Academy, they need to make a final push if they're going to win this thing. Down 4, 58-54. And Cullen, you made an interesting point right before that timeout. It seems like the deficit is larger than it really is.
Yeah, it just has that feel to it for some reason. I don't really know why, but.
Lakai Patterson for 3. It's short, and Richard Edwards, yet another offensive rebound. 25 offensive rebounds and counting for Minnesota Prep. Amon Decker drives hard, and he's fouled. I think that's Ahmad Harvey. No, that's Ramon Woods, his second, team 10th.
Take a second to think about that. You said how many offensive rebounds? You said
25.
25. That's 25 extra possessions for Minnesota Prep. I mean, there's almost no way to win that way.
Yep.
If you're the opposing team.
That's right. Amon Decker had missed his last 2 free throws. So he made that one. So if you're Aspire, you're only down 5. It's still a 2-possession game. But you have desperately got to figure out what you got to do to keep them off the offensive glass, getting bunny opportunities.
Well, you've got to finish the possession. I mean, on defense, defensively, finishing the possession is corralling the rebound.
Yep. Ramon Woods, free throw line, jumper, no good. Woods gets it to Ahmad Harvey, no good. And Amon Decker with the defensive glass. Weak outlet pass is stolen by Sekou Seda Calais. Seda Calais in the paint. Floater is good.
Oh, man, we got a run out with Edwards.
Basket
Nice.
good. 62-56, Minnesota Prep by 6.
That's 21 for Edwards. Gotta have it.
Biggie to TJ Tony, no good. Sekou Seda Calais tried to corral the offensive rebound.
Hey, James, you got to go with 2 hands and grab it, bro.
Ball out of bounds, last touched by Minnesota Prep. So Aspire gets another shot at it. 1:18 to go in the contest.
Wide
They get to Seda Calais right in the middle of the lane. But then James flipping, going for the steal, loses the ball out of bounds.
It's so
Boy,
odd
y'all
to me.
gotta call out them screens.
That was an odd play. Somehow he gets blocked basically at his stomach. You know, that
Yeah.
tells you the problem. The ball shouldn't be at his stomach.
Correct.
Hey, that's too easy, Rich. They're trying to go right there. Just jump off.
And that foul committed by Jawan Grant. That is his 4th and team's 9th.
Now here clearly is where free throws are so important.
Yes, they have to have both of these from Ramon Woods. Front end and bonus have got to go. Hate to put it that way, but there's no other way to express it right now. Oh, he must have been in the act of shooting.
Yeah, he was,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. All right, so Woods gets the first. Either way, he still needs to make this second one as well. It's a 5-point lead. They cut it to 4, then
Well, and this is the beauty of the shot clock here too, is that they do have a chance here.
Well, true.
You know, if there's no shot clock, you know, they probably have to foul.
yeah.
So that's why here's where the shot clock is brilliant, and it's what it's for. It gives teams a chance. It's more exciting.
Jawan Grant.
And just
Trey ball is good.
And Jawan Grant kind of puts the nail in the coffin. That's not it, but that was a
That was huge.
backbreaker for sure.
Ramon
Nice shot.
Woods, baseline fadeaway.
Good, smart timeout there by Coach Kipnis. I always like timeouts like that because obviously it gives you a chance to set your defense.
Right. And, you know, it keeps them from doing something real quick to maintain momentum. Make them think about it. So, 30-second timeout. And I hear Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, man, he's the PA guy's all over the music this morning.
Yes,
a little
he is.
STP earlier. Stone Temple Pilots for anybody that doesn't understand that reference.
Soundgarden.
Nirvana, Soundgarden, yeah. I dig it.
I do too. I'm perfectly happy with it.
Which I dig, you know, almost any kind of music. So,
Wow. The Spire Academy has called all 5 of their timeouts.
Yeah.
They're out. And that may be critical for them coming down the stretch. That means if you get double teamed, if you are trying to fall out of bounds, there's no saving you. There are no timeouts. But that's what it took to get them to this point and keep it a 2-possession game.
See how quickly they foul here. I'm not sure if they do foul. I think they have to, really.
Yeah, at this point, I'm in total agreement with that. And Ramon Woods commits the foul.
But that's the smartest kind of foul that there is. He's going for the ball. And, you know, if you get away with it, then
you've got to
great,
steal.
Obviously. So smart heads-up play there from Woods. Lukai Patterson, though, as we always speak of, is very extremely strong with the basketball.
And Lukai Patterson is as clutch as anybody in the country. He may only have 5 points, but it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't make 6 free throws coming down the stretch because he's going to have the ball in his hands.
Right.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, he's one of those kids somehow you just know what's going in.
Yep.
You know, it's just because he's a winner. That's basically why.
Ramon Woods dishes to Figgy Newton, no good. And guess who gets the rebound? Lukai Patterson on cue, and he's fouled. Ramon Woods. That is his fourth. And so Lukai Patterson will stroll to the free throw line. 26.3 seconds to go in the contest. He's got 7 points. Make it 8.
Yeah, just go ahead and put it in the book, Leroy. I think it's.
Yeah, this is a done deal at this point. Minnesota Prep has grounded out.
We've got a Stevie Wonder reference for more music references.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, woo!
Newton looked like he was trying to take somebody's head off with that
He's trying
pass.
to take somebody's head off from St. Louis Christian up there.
And Lukai Patterson with the ball in his hands.
You called it. He's going to get 6
yeah.
free throws here. I bet you anything.
Yep. 16.7 seconds left.
Not 6 free throws on this play, but this will be 6 consecutive for him, just like you mentioned earlier.
TJ Toney with the foul, his first. And Patterson makes the first.
That puts Patterson into double figures.
Double figures. He's now got 10. And his dad is calling for a triple-double, 10, 10, 10. And let's see if he is on. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Seydou Calais with the offensive rebound and the stick back. And that will do it from day 2 of the Jackson Purchase Jam. Minnesota Prep 70 and Aspire Academy 62. Great way to get the morning started. And we've got more action coming up. Game number 2 will feature Tennessee Prep versus St. Louis Christian. That's a regional matchup. Memphis versus St. Louis. That'll be coming up in, they put 6 minutes on the clock. But we hope you are enjoying the 2019 Jackson Purchase Jam. Now coming up, Richard Edwards is going to be interviewed as player of the game. All right, so I'm going to step aside and we're going to.
I got to do this? You got me confused.
Yes, you do, Richard. You're the player of the game.
Richard Edwards said his throat hurts, but I don't care. He still got to do the interview with me because when you play that well, Richard, you got to get the interview, buddy.
Let's go.
It's a good game. Congratulations on a good game.
Thank
Richard Edwards here, player of the game. You got most of your points. Here's what I noticed from watching the game. You get most of your points on that when they're in the zone and you're floating on that baseline, okay? Is that something that you practice? It has to be something you practice every day.
Oh, yeah, me and Lukai Patterson, we always practice that.
Right.
Just the defense seemed to lose me every time down low, below because I'm, not.
Well, give yourself credit there because that takes a skill of learning how to float on that baseline and going against the grain, and also, like you said, with your point guard there. So talk about your point guard as well. He always, once he gets into the lane there, into the middle, he's always, you can tell with his vision, he's always looking for somebody. He's looking for that pass, but you do a great job as well. There has to be a cut made for him to make that pass. So explain what it is playing with a point guard like that that's always looking for you.
Oh, it's great. That's how he play. I'm just so used to that. I've been playing with him for 2 years now. We know that we got that connection now. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, congratulations again. 21 points on the day for this morning, all at the rim. So very efficient morning for you. So good job.
Thank you.
All right, man.
All right.
All right, well, we got St. Louis Christian coming up. We got St. Louis Christian, and they are going against, let's see here, Tennessee Prep. So we got about 8 minutes to go here, and we'll tip off on the next. It's a grind session event on YouTube.